shut it down.
All right, that's it. All right, let's go home. All right, guys.
Let's go home. Thank you for joining us today on the Broski Doodles podcast. My name is Kiko Flo, Kiko Cervantes. With me, my homeboy, my longtime friend, and also one of the stars of this show. People are always calling out for this guy. And well, we have him here with you, DJ BJ. What do you do, my guy? All good?
Yo, what it do? What's up here? DJ BJ with Kiko Flow.
What do you do, dog? We have here some shit. You know, we're always on some rant shit. I mean, we do have some of these episodes where we're talking about some real stuff, but today we have just a lot of things that we want to rant about. But I mean, obviously, all of them with a lot of knowledge in between. And I'm gonna ask you right away, straight to your face, DJ BJ. Are we destroying Mother Earth?
That's a pretty difficult question. Some people would say no, we're not, and other people would say that we're totally fucking that shit up. So,
and what would DJ BJ say?
DJ BJ has actually seen the signs of fucking shit up, you know. So, like, it's horrible to say.
What are those signs? Tell us. Biologists, get your notebooks out.
Biologist. Actually, just this morning, I was on Instagram, and I saw somebody post a piece of the Antarctic shelf falling off, and supposedly it's about the size of Miami or something like that.
Of Miami.
I don't know what that means. Miami's a big place or a small place to some, but I'd have to re-look at the post. I might be quoting it wrong, but it was like a piece of ice that was more or less the size, let's say, of South Florida.
Okay.
Ripping off of Antarctica. And
could this be fake news?
It could be, except that there was also a video attached to the post showing the actual crack on the shelf. Like,
except you can see on the video a little seal swimming, and the fucking ice thing just falls on the fuck. You see the blood gushing, and but
I think that's also like CGI, so that's fake, probably, right?
That part not. So, do you think this started happening since the Titanic hit that iceberg back in the day, though?
Ooh, but the thing is that isn't Antarctica in the south?
I mean, if you're gonna get with that semantics and try to fucking deviate from what we're, from the fucking topic, I get you, but I mean, at the end of the day, the world's connected, right? I mean,
that's true. Like, yeah, you're right. It could have been
the
like
South and the North
like,
Pole are all.
It hit the Arctic, and then it translated into the Antarctic, and then
the
fucked
poles
it up.
Are connected on some weird shit.
It's one pole, right? It goes through,
right?
Like
Einstein, E equals MC squared.
Yeah, E equals MC. E equals MC. We're fucked. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if the Titanic hit that, that could have started this whole chain, right? Like,
I think it did. I think we have to blame the Titanic for this.
You know what I mean?
Because we don't want to accept the responsibility ourselves, so we have to blame somebody, right?
Right. And I was like, oh no, we have too many vehicles, right? Oh, we cannot have diesel, which is more affordable. It's better for cars. No, but now it's bad.
Now it's bad.
So I'm just saying, you have Greta Thunberg, right, saying that we should be traveling in boats, because planes cost too much, right? But then, this is where people think we're just fucking around. Let me get to the philosophical shit. Where is that line where we have enough progress so that it makes our life easier, but not so much so that it's bad to the earth? Because at the end of the day, part of this whole progress is to make our life easier. And if we're gonna be like, oh no, we're not gonna use drying machines because that's bad for the environment, and it's like, okay, so are we gonna live comfortably as humans, or are we gonna be you feel what I mean? Are we gonna be restrained to not do the things that make our life more comfortable? I understand some level of it, but how would you?
I think the discussion would be comfort versus necessity. Like, what do we need to live as a human being versus what would make our life easier to live? do we really need, a washer dryer combo unit and a washing machine, a machine that folds our clothes, a machine that does this, a machine that does the bed for us. Do we need a machine that jerks us off or something like that? Do we need a machine that just
I think we need that.
do we need a machine that just picks us up and makes us walk to work like on our own? We don't have to do anything. Like,
I mean, if you want to get cynical like that,
like where does it stop? Do we go into the whole Wall-E thing, like where we're just sitting in a couch and the couch moves around?
We don't have to go that far, but somebody that cuts the grass, a robot that cuts the grass and folds the clothes. I don't see anything wrong with that. God damn it, that's America.
That's fucking America, but at what cost?
Right.
Now,
so what I'm saying is, where is the line? Where is the line? Because you have a fucking iPhone. Right. You have an iPhone. Each iPhone is about 3 workers in Southeast Asia.
But what does the iPhone do that could have been done by a person?
What I'm trying to say is that you having technology, at one point or another, that had a cost, that had an environmental cost, right? A human cost, right? But you have an iPhone, right? So like, how far would you go? Like, are you gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna have any fucking iPhones. I'm gonna go to Dominican Republic. I'm gonna live in a farm there, and I'm just gonna, live my dreams because because that's like the natural way. Or do you like having internet? Do you like playing Warcraft every once in a while? Like, because you, to me, are something a bit hypocritical. Where on one side it's like all three hugging shit, right? Right, and then on the other side it's like, oh, I have an iPhone S5 whatever with Tim Cook's signature,
Right. Okay, I agree. Like, there is an inherent cost, not just money wise, but like the people as well as the environment, and doing what you do, and using the internet and using your phone and using technology to substitute daily activities that you don't want to do per se. I think in order for us to not be so hypocritical in that aspect, we would have to somehow find a way to like, think about it like this: like you're consuming this much
truth. The truth hit him in the face, son.
Okay, let's say you're consuming this much energy. You should do something to give back that energy to the system, to the environment. Plant some trees.
So would you say that there's gotta be a balance?
There definitely has to be a balance.
Like,
I think
it's all about
balance.
I have an iPhone, but I'm not gonna have a Hummer.
Right.
Well.
Right. Or I have an iPhone.
Prius.
I have an iPhone, but I also have a garden. So I'm contributing, oxygen to my system and to my environment, to helping out.
Okay. I have a new iMac or MacBook Pro, but I have my own basil, my own tomatoes, homegrown, the best in all the southern region. And when you eat my Napolitana sauce,
I have a Yukon Denali, but I'm also helping the homeless or helping little kids in need. Like something like that, something along that lines, like a balance.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm consuming.
I have a mansion in Calabasas, California, where I throw big ass parties with fireworks that contaminate the environment. But I adopted 7 African children, and I'm providing for them.
Yes, that is.
Would that work?
I would say that that's a trade off. That's like a balance. Like shit. Like at least you're trying. At least you're trying to do something.
I sell weapons to rebel countries so that countries that are impoverished can have rebel groups fight and never have peace. But I have a little non-profit in Guatemala that provides food for the children in the Aborigine regions.
I was gonna say I have a camp for people that are indemnified because of those bombs and weapons that I sold. So like I help out the people that got fucked over by the shit that I gave them.
Have you been maimed by a bomb? Also,
Yeah, you said about infomercial.
okay, so I mean, pretty much it's just about balance.
I would say yes. The scale is tipped towards the negative. We're consuming more than we are when we're giving back, and eventually it's gonna fuck us up. And
Because and I mean for health reasons we know it's not the greatest, but with eliminating like progress and like technology so that we can save the earth, this also means like Taco Bell doesn't exist. Like you don't get a chalupa, you don't get a Crunch Wrap Supreme because that's like capitalist, industrial, grinding machine, right? So you have to like you get your own basil, your own tomatoes, you make your own
yeah,
chipotle at home, which is great. But sometimes you want that nasty, nasty process SMG
but
shit.
can't somebody locally have a taco shop with organic basil and tomatoes and maybe like not meat but like a vegetarian option of meat, whatever.
Okay, but would it taste the same without the
The
synthetic
process,
acid fire sauce?
it might actually take better, but it will take longer. Like so,
And it will be more expensive.
and it will be more expensive.
I will
Definitely.
live longer, but is that always good?
Is that really what, like, are we here to live a long time or a good time?
I mean, I'm here for a
Shit.
I mean, for a good time, not a long time.
A long time.
I mean, all I'm saying is, life is overrated.
So just what's stopping you from ending it now?
Suicide, not such a bad thought.
I mean, it's always on the table.
Euthanasia becoming legal everywhere. I mean, I'm just saying, when it's enough,
I'm
it's
just saying.
enough.
Enough is enough. When, and then when do you stop?
I mean,
When does it stop?
what stops?
No, like you're saying euthanasia, and that, like now, like let's say everywhere euthanasia is legal, so you can kill yourself whenever you want. You don't want to kill yourself or whatever. Like, when do you pull the plug? At 30? At 50?
In one country in Latin America, I don't know where exactly, they were like trying to push for euthanasia, right? And the president, like the current government, is against it, and the president is like, no, we're not gonna pass euthanasia. If you want to kill yourself, you go to the top of a building and you jump. And I was just like,
shit. Damn.
like part of me was like, yo, that's not even the point. But
Hashtag facts.
But part of me was like, hashtag facts. I mean, if we're gonna talk about effectiveness, and even if you're in a wheelchair, there's always like accessible buildings that.
So I guess that's another way to give back. Make all buildings wheelchair accessible. At least into the roof.
Euthanasia should be available for all. Right? What do you think about euthanasia? Euthanasia.
Euthanasia.
Would you support it?
My body, my choice.
Right?
No, I mean, absolutely. I believe that. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, everybody's situation is different, but if you're living a horrible life and you're constantly in pain, but like a level of pain where it's unbearable, and you have a terminal disease, I wouldn't see why that would be a problem. I mean, I know it's like a religious thing more so than it is like a moral thing, because like religion states that it's against God's will to kill yourself, and then you go to hell.
Life.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't choose when you end your life. God does.
Right.
So, I mean,
it's sort of like sticking it to the man.
Sticking it to the big man upstairs, if anything.
No, that's what I mean. Like I take this, like I decide when this happens, type shit. Now,
Right.
would you support it to the full extent? Like anyone, like even if you don't have like an illness or whatever, like you just like, yo, I'm just done with this shit.
No, not not without proper counseling and shit like that. It takes like you can't just decide. Oh, you know what? I don't want to die. I mean, I want to die today because you don't. The issue isn't that you want to die. The issue is that what led you to feel that way, that you just don't want to live.
So
There's
you
something
think
going on in
there
your life.
should always be an attempt to show why life should be the answer. Pro
Right.
life.
I hate you. There should always be an attempt to show that life has value and meaning before ending it.
And hence you are pro life.
I need to go.
What the fuck?
Fuck you.
Why are you standing there like if you did think you know you were pro life in the abortion debate, like this is some shit that you could not talk about? Like why are you bitching out like that? This is the broski
No,
doodle, not the broski
not,
bitches.
It's not bitching out. It's more like coming to the realization that I was pro-choice before and now I'm pro-life. I don't know if that makes sense.
So this was more something about you.
It's an internal conflict that I'm having because I'm saying like
okay,
I'm saying
okay.
fuck you because you made me realize that life is important and life is worth living.
Oh,
But,
did you
I
just
mean,
turn right there?
No.
Boom.
The thing is that now we have to define what life is
Right.
because when
nah.
does life when is a life, you know, like when does a life become life? So like if you're alive, if you're already here, I'm not gonna fucking kill you. Like I'm not gonna let you kill yourself. But if you're not here yet, you know,
I'm sort of like
why contraceptives? Why have contraceptives then? You know,
I'm very flexible with this matter because I know the consequences of children being born into
Yeah.
families where they're gonna fail. Like in Latin
Exactly.
America, you see an exodus of people giving birth, and it's and you know like I had a discussion with someone in Facebook the other day where I was putting a meme where it said like if you don't have enough money to like take care of yourself, like don't have kids, right? And then some
I agree with that.
and some friend of mine, he's very liberal, more like you on your side of the fence
On my
politically.
side.
No, which is fine, but he was like also poor people are not allowed to be happy and have families, and he was like, I mean, not really.
I mean,
And I
it's
don't
not
want to
that
be a dickhead. I'm just saying,
it's not that you're not allowed to be happy and have a family, but are you happy right now with no money and being poor
how
and
happy
having a
can
kid?
you be? How happy can you be if it's already shitty being in a bad position yourself? How bad is it that kids that depend on you, you're not even able to give it to them? Like that's gotta be worst. And I
Yeah,
just feel
having to constantly let them down, it's not being able to you know to like eat, like give them food one day. Imagine not being able to eat a couple days or a week,
yeah.
you know, because you're that poor.
And I think that one of the main things that you see in societies that thrive is societies that are a lot more conscientious about having kids. Like in Europe, they're actually a bit too extreme where like they're almost 40 and they don't have kids. So maybe not that much, but you do gotta like I don't know. I just feel like sometimes in the world, and I see this in Latin America happen a lot. We're like, I don't even know how we got to this topic, but
The
they're
pro-life, pro-choice.
fucking like bunnies.
Oh my god! And I like, yeah. Have you seen the movie Idiocracy?
Fuck, dude. I had the last podcast I did with my friend Patrick. He brought that movie up. What's the premise of that shit? Because I feel like I've seen it, but I don't remember this now.
Basically, it starts off with the whole scenario where, you know, smart people are more like conscious of the environment, conscious of money costs, and like, you know, it costs this much a year to raise a child and to do this and that. So they tend to shy away from having children to not be a burden on society, to not be a burden on the world. And then you have the flip side where you have some young high school kid who's just fucking like the whole cheerleading squad massing up like 12, 13, 15 babies, but you can see that there's like an intelligence difference between the two. So what happens? All the smart people don't want to have kids because they know that the world's shitty and shit's going down and the cost of living is going up. And then you have all the dumb people just fucking anyways and having kids and kids and kids. So the dumb people start overpopulating the earth and all the smart people start dying out.
Oh fuck!
It gets to the point where, like 1,000 years later,
it's just fucking dumbasses. And one motherfucker with a math book, like, oh shit.
No, and then they get the average Joe, which is Luke Wilson, and they put him in like a time chamber or some shit. So he falls asleep, wakes up, it's 1,000 years later, and he's the smartest guy in the world because he knows a little bit, like he's just like an average person. But everybody's been so like all the dumb people have been.
Everyone kept just fucking like this whole like little formula where like the dumbest ones are the ones that want to keep reproducing and the smartest ones aren't. So by nature, like being a smart person, it's almost like you're destined to fail because
being
the
a
dumber
smart
ones are
person.
always gonna out fuck you or outbreed you.
Right. But I mean, obviously the dumb ones are more focused on, like on their physique and their ability to perform, but they shy away from
in the sexual field.
apparently.
No.
Yeah. They had this was funny. They had a movie theater where the movie that they were showing was a butt just farting for 45 minutes, and it was like it won like an Oscar or some shit. In three, like 1,000 years later or some shit, like
damn. So this movie's actually like could be canceled today.
I don't think so because it had nothing to do
because you're sort of saying, I mean, this doesn't apply every time, but in general sense, that people that breed a lot carelessly tend to be in the lower categories of thinking, right? And
I want to say that they're less conscientious of themselves and the impact that they have on the world around them. So they don't see that far ahead. They don't see that far ahead. They're like, me having 12 children is gonna have this impact on the world.
Okay, what do you think? I gotta watch this movie. What do you think is the solution to this problem?
So like, what problem?
To the problem of like of people that don't have the means overbreeding. Like it's just education. Overbreeding sounds fuck. Like what would it be? Because breeding is like with like animals and shit. What would it be like? Overmating? No, mating.
Over mating.
Mating
population. I mean, I don't know.
Over birth giving. Overcoming inside. Over how do I say this? Fucking put a rap on that shit. Like, then like I have to take care of your kids via my taxes, you motherfucker. Like fucking put her in her mouth and whatever her tits.
Yeah,
just don't make it ovulate. You just
I don't know, bro. That's harder. That's harder than said than done. Like, what are we gonna what are we gonna do? Start
when that shit's inside, dog.
Start euthanizing.
Hard as it. Euthanizing. I mean, that's abortion, right?
I mean,
that's euthanasia, like pre-birth euthanasia.
Pre-euthanasia.
Do you think the left is gonna get so far to the point where abortion is allowed, like even 3 years into their life?
Wow. Like
postpartum abortion.
They're 20. Like, oh look, I think you should have gotten aborted. I'm gonna go submit go submit a claim at the court.
Hey, dude, there's some states where they wanted to pass some shit like even like a month before, like you can abort, and it's
Uh-huh.
like, well, until this and this, then he hasn't. And I'm for abortion. Like, do whatever the fuck you want. But obviously, it does start to get a bit grimy when you start telling me like, oh, a month before, because it's like,
Yeah.
so. But then they always have like, oh no, but you see, it's not alive until it's seen a doctor's fucking face,
Get the
and
fuck out of
like,
here.
so I'm just saying like I'm just saying like, what if it gets to the point, and it's not far fetched, where they're like, at 3 years old, this kid doesn't even know who the fuck it is, like, it's not really conscious of what's happening, and if you just
Just
pop them
put.
real quick with the electric, like it's nothing.
I feel sad now.
Post,
At the thought of this.
I'm just saying, postpartum abortion, Bernie Sanders 2024.
I think we need a little bit more time than that. So let's go with 2028.
Okay.
Um,
It's
bro,
her body, her decision. This
but it came out of her, so it's part of her body.
until 18 years old, this kid is a mere extension of her body.
Coño. So you're saying that you might not even make it to 18? Holy shit!
Hey,
That should be
dude,
that should be a movie.
a movie. I'm pretty sure, dude. They put us on a little capsule like Owen Wilson, and then or Luke Wilson, was it?
Luke Wilson, his brother,
The brother. They
the
put
one
fucking
from Old School.
old school. They
Yeah.
put us both on a little capsule like Luke Wilson, and we come back in like 50 years. It's gonna be like that, like fucking postpartum abortion. I'm
I
telling you,
don't-
dude.
No, I don't think it. I think I think it's gotten to the point. I actually like. I'm starting to see it now. Even though I am liberal, I'm starting to see it now that things are starting to get ridiculous. Like I'm all for equal rights and empowerment to women and stuff like that. But what you're asking, it's counterproductive to your movement. Like it's like it's gonna get so ridiculous that it's gonna start going back. Like it's gonna go to the point, it's gonna get to a peak, and then it's gonna start going back. Like no. Like this is you guys are gone too far. You guys got too much reach. This is stupid. Let's start bringing it back more to like a reasonable some reasonable shit. Like
There's gonna be like a correction.
right, like a correction.
Do you
I
think
don't,
that this correction is gonna come from people like you that are on the left, that are liberals, but that have some sense in them and can call out the bullshit when they see it as well? Like, you think more people are gonna be, because this is the problem. There's some people on the left that are super like tied to that ideology, like a dogma. Because like you could say I'm on the right, but really I'm for like I'm like more like a libertarian. Like I'm not tied to a political like or Trump or whatever. I don't give a fuck, man. Like I call out
Right.
some bullshit and whatever from anyone. I don't give a fuck.
right.
And I think that's how everyone should be. And it's kind of like I see you. I mean, you're more you
I'm
have
like
common sense.
I'm like a left center, more or less.
Right, but you call out the bullshit and you still stand your ground on the social shit that you like, and
Right.
so I can respect you in that sense. Where like we think differently on those things, but we have a mutual sense of truth where we can actually
Right.
use that as a pinpoint to balance our conversation and have a possible debate. So, do you think things are gonna improve in the sense where the left is gonna be like sort of have a correction because the rest of the population are gonna be like, hey, you guys are going too insane, and then we're gonna come back a bit where we still have all the social shit and the progress that we've had, but maybe not too far, where you have like transgender that used to be men fucking in sports with women, like we're gonna be. Do you think we're gonna get to a point where people are gonna be like, okay, everybody, let's agree, this is crazy, okay?
Ari, sit down. What the fuck is this?
You know what I mean?
Like, fuck. I mean, there's actually a lawsuit now in California, like sports or something like that, where some girls are saying like, like you guys are letting transgender males turn into women, or not even turn, because they don't even turn, like they're in the process of transitioning, but they were originally male, and they're winning outright in every single event because they were originally male. They're turning into female now, but they still have the male qualities of like the physique and the muscle mass and the. So I don't know. Like it does it. I think eventually it's gonna get like, you know, like, yeah, you could turn into whatever you want, but then that doesn't qualify you to compete in whatever the fuck, because you have an unfair advantage because you have the like the bone structure or the physique of a man competing in a women's sport. You know, I don't think that's, I don't know if it's fair to the women or if it's fair to the transgender male turning into a female. I don't know. I don't know.
I was talking
It's
about
weird.
this earlier, where like with my friend Pat as well, where I was saying like it's almost like the feminist group is getting to a point where they're going so woke that they're hurting themselves. They're cutting themselves in the foot. Is that the saying?
They're shooting themselves in the foot.
That's the one. Cutting, you know, it's a bit because I'm not pro guns, so I prefer
You're
to
not?
say just
That's funny.
no. I
I
am.
am. Oh, okay. I was
No,
like,
yeah.
that.
I am
You're
pro guns.
right,
but
but
I have a what you said? You what? You
I was
right?
saying like you're more right, but you're against guns. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, okay.
but
No.
you said that you're pro gun. Okay,
Yeah, and like I'm not a gun enthusiast, but I do support it. But it's funny, I didn't used to, so I'm actually surprised that you do, and I want to have that discussion. But yeah, they're shooting themselves in the foot because it's like you're pushing this feminine, like feminist shit, where like, oh, women should have a safe environment to excel, and then you allow, and then once you reach all of these things where like women set up to succeed, then you're like, oh, by the way, anyone can be a woman. So it's like, well, then what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? Like, imagine, imagine you have
and then a man turns into a woman, and then she starts excelling, and no, like that's not what I meant.
Like, isn't that going back to what they were complaining about men not allowing them to succeed? And then the irony is that the man comes back as a woman and fucks them up again,
and doesn't allow them to succeed.
I mean, we're fucking. My and my boy DJ IQ it's gotta be in the lows, and we're figuring this shit out.
In the lows, well, in like the 80s, nigga.
Like the low 80s, I don't know. Like the low 80s.
Like,
no, maybe
right above the line. Right above the line.
Like right above the line where they wouldn't kick you out of the army. Right there. I'm thinking this is like high 80s, low 90s. And we're figuring this shit out. So you tell me what the fuck is wrong with you. Okay? Like, I'm all for like taxes and like helping people, but this is fucking crazy. And we need to talk about this shit, and people need to fucking come to their senses and stop bullshitting each other. Because I'm getting tired of this fucking, bro, it's like, man, come on. Like, let's be fucking reasonable.
Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, like this whole argument about this one was kind of weird too. Allowing like a 13-year-old to undergo like hormone therapy to transition from man to female or something like that. Like allowing a young person to do that. You know, I don't know.
Bro, they don't allow a young person to get a fucking tattoo. Right?
Without permission?
Right, you need to be with your dad.
Yeah, like without consent.
You want to get a piercing. No, but here they want to make associations where the doctor is able to decide, no, this person should be allowed to take all this chemistry that's going to change the biology of their body forever. And this person doesn't even know who the fuck they are. They're 13. Dude, when I was 18, I didn't know who the fuck I was.
I still don't know who the fuck I am. What the fuck? Like,
no. I mean, in the bigger scheme of things, I mean, we're still lost. We don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, but
we're just rolling by inertia at this stage. But I'm saying, at 18, if you would have allowed me, bro, there's tattoos that I regret that I got at 18. Right? I'm saying like, if you were to allow me at 18 to do like to change the biology of my body, I will be mad at you. And there's people that have the experience where later on they're like, yo, this fucked up my life and I cannot believe adults allow me to do this shit at 16 type shit. And that's why there's a high percentage of suicide in the trans community. And I'm with the fight. Like, I'm with them. Like, I want everyone to be happy, man.
Right.
But I just don't want things that are irreversible to be done to somebody that might not know yet what's happening. A lot of times those people end up being women that want to be guys, and then they end up just being lesbians, or vice versa. Like, the argument that they would say, because we do want to bring both sides in, the argument is, I was like, oh, that's really cool, Kiko. You want to bring both sides, but you don't have a trans person in your show. Well, guess what? DJ has been thinking about this shit for a minute. He wants to try it out. Fuck.
You know, I'm gonna try anything once. Yeah.
You know, and he could try and come back because that's what the
But
law says.
Like, you could try, but can you really come back once you go that route?
I don't know, dog. I don't know if once you go down those Narnia paths, but start meeting with some fucking creatures out there, maybe you don't want to go back. Hey, but that's you, you know, you gotta be happy. Hey, we support that love. We support you wanting to be happy. But all I'm saying is, what was I saying?
That you're for the fight, but you like it's getting.
Like I don't want it to hurt you. I don't want it to hurt you. Like, you
right.
know what I mean? Like, I want you to, bro. A lot of people end up like 18, 20 when they're like, oh shit, no, I am gay, or you know, like I was confused, and now I think I should be the same. Like, you gotta be at least 18, and even at 18, I think it's irresponsible. But at least 18.
At least, right? Yeah, but like once you're 18, you get to decide. Even if like even if the decision might not help you out in the future, you made that decision for yourself as an adult.
Yeah.
Not that somebody else made it for you, or that somebody else had to sign over your life to say, all right, let this person do it.
Whether or not we agree that 18 is the right age for us to say you're an adult, regardless of what we think.
25, really.
Okay, yeah, but to not go into another debate, regardless if we agree to it or not, that's the age that we as a society, I mean, at least in the U.S. in many countries, right, we have acknowledged it as the legal adult age. If we can take you to war at 18, if you could drink, if you could smoke at 18, then you could decide what you want to do with your body. I mean, that's fine. I just think it's crazy when they're like talking about like 7, 8-year-olds, 13-year-olds, you know, and moms that are raising kids, like almost kind of like pushing them to you know, to be on the spectrum.
Yeah, this whole gender neutral environment or whatever the fuck.
I mean, I just don't like people losing sight of biology and the reality of our human anatomy, you know, like dude, we see this with animals. Like, there's a difference. There's, you know, and I'm not talking about like all men should play with, you know, whatever trucks.
No, that's different. Like roles, societal roles, that's different. But wanting to change your body to be man or woman, that's completely different.
Yeah, but even like a guy playing baseball with his kid, like, oh, that's starting to be something like, oh, why are you pushing him to do man stuff? And it's like, I mean, dude, there are realities of our biology that go hand in hand with certain activities. Like, women would like to role play with dolls and shit because they're more like sentimental and more social, and men are more competitive. Like, we cannot always just like deny shit and then try to make it look like the world is this like simple. It isn't. Like, yes, I'm like, if my son or whatever wanted to do other things, like, that's straight, but doesn't mean that you shouldn't. Like, I just don't think it should be pushed. Like, it's almost like you kind of wanting the kid to be like, people don't understand that when kids have this complex sexuality discussions with themselves, it's sometimes a very hard situation, and you shouldn't try to make it harder or push them to be something that they might not necessarily be. Like, let it flow, but don't, you know what I mean? I think nowadays some moms just want to be like Instagram heroes. Like, yeah, he's fucking, you know, non-gender, and you know, his name is
that's
you
dumb.
know, Darlin or whatever, like some
Darlin.
No, no, like Darling, like I don't know, like a name
Like
like
a random
his,
name that has
yeah,
neither male nor
his name
female.
is its name is Udon, or I don't know.
It's
Like
oh my god.
I don't even know if that's correct. Like I could be, I could be canceled right there if I had more than like 100 subscribers. Thankfully, we're in the undergrounds of the social medias. But nevertheless, I do think I should say this more. I do thank all of the people that do listen to me, and I really appreciate it. And I want you to know that this is gonna continue. That you can hear the Broski Doodles on any podcast system, Spotify, iTunes, whatever. There's some ones that like downloaded, pirated. You can get that shit too. On my website, kikocervantes.com, you can get the podcast as well. You can see the Spanish podcast as well. But I just want to know you to know that I'm very thankful for like tuning in and listening to us talk shit, and know that I do put a lot of effort into making this shit possible and making the quality as good as possible. And now we actually have to like pay BJ for flights and shit because he's now becoming more and more part of the Broski Doodles, and that takes money. That takes money.
Yeah.
That I gotta. That guy eats a lot. It's a lot of demands. A lot of demands. He likes to go to Chuck E. Cheese. And I don't blame him. I mean, as a man, I would like to go to Chuck E. Cheese if there was one available where I live.
I prefer Danny Bear.
Danny Bear. That was the older one, right? That was like the more Hialeah one. Yeah, if you went to Dandy Bear, you were gonna be doing lines of cocaine in the bathroom with the Dandy Bear, and that's not what I'm about.
Off of the bear's ass.
That's not what I'm about. So I prefer to go to Chuck E. Cheese
and
smoke a joint
with Chucky.
And smoke a crack pipe.
Crack with Chuggy and lines with the panda bear.
I'm just saying, dog.
Oh man,
not again. No, but yeah. So
not again.
Thank you all for listening. But yeah, dude. Do you think people are losing their minds nowadays? Like,
I think it's getting to the point where people are gonna realize, it's getting out of hand, and make a correction. I don't know how much of a correction. I don't know in which way. I think it's too much, but you might even see like pockets of like societies that adopt this whole mentality of going extreme left, and then like other pockets of society that go extreme right. Like around the world, maybe like different states. Like kind of like the whole situation with the sanctuary states. Like kind of that scenario.
What's that?
Oh, like sanctuary states, like the states that like actively protect immigrants from being deported.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
So in that extent, like maybe like they might come up with like some states that are actively protecting the rights of and protecting and furthering the rights of the LGBTQ community, as well as women, and like that
or whatever minority group at the moment.
Right.
Okay. Do you just to end the conversation? Do you feel like at one point your gender identification might change and you might wander in the Narnia forest of sexuality?
I want to say that I've actively ventured in that forest. I won't discuss the specifics, but it's a strange forest that you have to be careful with. It can be enjoyable at sometimes, but it is very strange.
And it's a strange forest, you would say.
It's a strange forest.
Okay, so you would say at least you're not a disgusting straight cisgender male, 100%.
Oh, definitely not. I can actually. Speaking of which, this week I took a BDSM test. I can send you the results and you can post it there if you want.
What's that?
A BDSM test, like sadism, masochism, bonding, and dominatrix, like that whole like avenue.
Okay,
And
so pretty much this means that that the test at least says that you're a wild animal.
I wouldn't go explicitly say wild animal, but I'm
I
a
do
curious animal.
apologize. A
I'm a
curious
curious
animal.
animal.
Okay, okay, curious animal. All right, all right, perfect. So, well, for people out there, you know, we support all types of expressions, sexually, um, you know, love, whatever, like whatever makes you happy. We're cool with that, and that's what we want everybody to know. Okay.
So so venturing into the forest is fun and strange, but I wouldn't want to live there.
Okay. So sometimes you might want to go into the forest, but you might not want to stay there. You just want to set up camp, do a little bit of, some hot dogs and shit, and then come out, So depending
I
on where you're
mean,
at, your adventure might be a 3 day in Tanjan into the forest. You might stay a month there, depending on where you're at. But we
right.
support all of that, and we want you to comment down there if you have any, sort of dark arts.
Any forest adventures that you've had?
Any forest adventures that you've had that you might want to share with the Broski Doodles. But yeah, we just want to make sure that everyone knows that we're with the community and that we're striving for the progress of the community. We just don't want really big transgender male fucking up girls and then they're not able to win like a tournament or some shit. Like if I had a daughter, that would feel bad. But nevertheless, everyone should have we should find a solution. Maybe a transgender league. I think that's something that television wise could be very interesting.
That could be.
You know what I mean?
I'd be down for that.
Like you want a man, just fucking,
You want a man?
Yeah.
That was like the start, I guess.
Like that wouldn't date so well.
Exactly. That's another
Right.
canceled.
Yeah, that's canceled. I wanted to touch on you another thing that I saw, which is like, do you feel like I had this the other day? I went out and I went to eat with some friends of my girl and shit, and it was pretty cool. But it's like a lot of people, random people. Does it sometimes feel like, I don't know, with age, that going into like a place with a bunch of people to eat, like it just gives me anxiety and just puts me like, fuck, this is a bit like it sort of make like I sort of go more towards having smaller things that I can control. Like, do you have that feeling too? Or is it just that my chemical imbalance in my brain is getting to the point where I need to see a psychologist?
I would say both, but it
Get
does
help.
yeah, please get help. See somebody today if you can, and if not, it is kind of weird, especially like if it's like a big group and there's people that you don't know. Like you're like, oh, who the fuck is that? Like, and then you tend to gravitate towards the same little group of 2 or 3 people that you would invite. You tend to gravitate towards them, and you just kind of like abandon the whole scenario. And then you have like 3 or 4 different conversations in the same group happening all at once. That that kind of gets weird after a certain point in time. And then why, like, that only works if you guys are all there for one reason. But if you guys are just there to eat and shit, kind of gets weird.
Like this is what I'm trying to say, and I don't want to sound like a cheap ass. I make tons of money and I have a lot of savings and stock. I'm out there, but like when the bill comes, even that is like an annoyance, right?
Oh my god!
Like,
no, imagine having
and it's just because like I don't like to be like, all right, what's my part? But if it's a bunch of people you don't know, it's just weird.
Yeah.
And to me,
sorry, to you. No, and then the whole like splitting it. So now this guy has to send you through Cash App. This guy has to send you through Venmo. This guy has to send you through PayPal. Or 2 days later, this guy hasn't paid me shit. Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, and I will have to text this guy for $17. It's like
fucking A. Like,
it's like, dude, and then you know what? People that do that is like a birthday or some shit. And I'm gonna talk about some real shit now. I mean, we have been talking about some real shit. I'm just saying, I'm gonna get on some personal shit. Like, dude, why is it that people think it's a good idea when you have like a birthday or some shit to get a bunch of people reunited, different friends, because we all have different groups. Like we have,
right.
Some groups that are like dark arts, like, then we have some people that are like more like decent people, like very, and then we have some people like, fuck, I'm not even gonna, this person doesn't even know my family, like so
like I can't even invite this person.
yeah. Why is it that people think you can just unite all those groups? And what you say is true. The person that everybody's there for, not everybody can speak to. So only one group does that, and the rest are like fucking lost. And you end up just going to a place, probably spending more than you should because they didn't do the fucking bill right. But you don't wanna really complain about it because you're there for like, right? And then
for Sheila's birthday.
Yeah, Sheila's birthday. Oh my gosh!
Oh my god!
Shots. Everybody wants shots. Shots.
Everybody got
shots.
shots. Wait, okay, so you only got 3 shots. So what about everybody else? There's 17 people here. What the fuck?
And then you see one motherfucker that's always like taking more shots, and you're like, "Wow, dog, this motherfucker." But that's Sheila's cousin, Oh my god.
Oh my god, Sheila's so wild.
And then you never chill or talk to Sheila, right? but every 45 minutes, Sheila does this. She's like, "Oh my god, I love you. You're the best. Thank you. It means so much for you to be here. All right." And then she goes to Big Finger by Mike or whatever.
You met her in college, like for like a semester and shit.
No. I'm like, even if it's like someone that you're friends with for like for reals, because you wouldn't do this for any fucking dumbass. Like, but like a friend like of yours. But then like all these groups meet, and you're like, fucking.
Yeah.
And it's always friends of your friends that you're like, I never liked that motherfucker, but whatever, like. And I just don't, like, what I like to do and what I want to promote, because I want to try to bring solutions, on episode 67, what it means to be a man. Oof. We had Tavo, and he brought solutions, right? And then I thought, oh fuck, that would be nice if I was to bring solutions, right, rather than just problems.
They just bringing problems. Yeah, exactly.
So the solution that I'm trying to bring here is, if you have a birthday, a baby shower, okay, or you're having your 5th baby because you don't give a fuck, right? And you're inviting people to, you want to meet the baby? You want to meet the baby? Right? Or you want to do like birthday? Have like 3-4 little different events. Right? On one event, you go with your wife and another couple that you're friends with. You can talk to. Let's eat. Let's go have some burritos. Whatever the fuck. Sushi. Another day, you go to Benihana's with you alone and 3 of your boys from college, right? And you talk about, remember when we did acid and you never woke up, and then after 8 hours, okay, you go with them. And then on another day, you go to a bar with, some of your friends from your workplace, where you can talk, where you're gonna be like, I remember that shit. And you call that bitch, and you're like, shit, I am the manager. Oh my god, right? Doesn't that make more sense than having a bunch of people that don't know each other and talking about shit that nobody knows, and it just becomes a piece of shit situation? And then the bill comes, and then there's always this motherfucker that drank more and ate more, and then he's like, I only had a tequila. Yeah, fuck you, dog. I seen you.
Let's split it evenly amongst all of us.
Yeah, the motherfucker that had 3 entries. Man. It's always, let's split it evenly, and you got there late and have 1 Corona. You're like, fuck.
What the fuck? Like,
fuck you, Sheila.
I shouldn't have fucking come to this shit.
So, do you support me or not?
Bro, like the multiple events sounds like a good idea. But then you're taking you are taking the cost of the brunt cost of doing 3 or 4 events, because now you have to go out to 3 or 4 different times, as opposed to having one event where everybody just you're like, well, fuck them, let them just deal with it. All right.
Let me sell it a bit better. You can maximum have 2 nucleus of friends. You can try to get 2 together. Mm-hmm. And you're like, guys, this is my friend from college. Remember I told you that doesn't give a fuck, yeah, dude. And then you're like, you can manage that. But more than that, I say no. You bring in 3 groups of friends. You bring in your co-workers, your college friends, and your childhood friends. No.
Unite 2 groups of friends at most.
At most, like 2 different nucleuses, right? Does that make sense? I'm trying to sound more smart. Because earlier we talked about the IQ. I'm trying to raise it a bit. So imagine you have the people from that you grew up with, and you have your co-workers. You can make them. You can make them. But don't add your college friends.
Uh
or the friends that you used to, do prostitution with back in when you lived in the north, whatever. Like, just don't mix.
Right.
Do you agree?
Um, so then we go to the case of, let's say, the baby shower. So you have a baby shower and you don't want to spend that much on the setup and the banners and all that bullshit. So like you'll tell one group of friends like, hey, you come from 1 to 5, you come from 5 to 6, like you come from 1 to 2, you could come from 2 to 3.
I mean, that's more efficient.
You could come from 3 to 4. You could be there all day. I don't care.
But that does sound a little bit riffraff.
But
However, you think that's how like the Cubans would do it?
Oof.
With like a lechon.
Would they have a lechon every hour? On the hour and shit.
They have a caja china going on for 24 hours straight, serving fucking lechon to everybody. No, but on the real, and much love to the Cuban and all the Spanish community and Latino
definitely.
community.
One of my favorite Latino foods.
Right, Miami, very known, the croqueta, the pan con mantequilla, de café con leche, cotadito.
Oh my god, oh yeah,
la croqueta de carne,
un pan con lechón.
Pan con lechón, sándwich cubano, muchas cosas. So, okay, all right, so thank you. All right, so well, thank you for joining us today on the Broski Doodles. It's been a great time, and thank you, DJ BJ, for having us, today with your delightful knowledge and humor.
I definitely enjoy this every single. I wake up every Sunday just to do this. Like, you keep me alive. You keep me choosing life over.
Okay. And remember, here at the Broski Doodles, including DJ BJ, we're pro-life. So thank you for joining us today, and have a great afternoon, morning, or evening. Peace.
Thank you. Peace.